She woke up from the cold floor. Confused, she got up and was looking down at the long hallway. The side of the hallway contained 3 doors. On each side, each door contained a different design. She walked to her right side to the first door that looked like a fire exit door. She pushed down the bars, opening the doors. She looked back at the door she came from, but she couldn't find it anymore. Confused, she looked forward and started looking forwards. She knew this place. She was in her high school hallway. She started walking forwards, looking around the place, looking into the empty classrooms with the same posters and images on the hallways. Everything was exactly the same way as she remembers it. She feels the floor shaking. She looks to the side from where she can hear the big footsteps coming from. It was a monster with a bald, shiny head. Each step he took, the impact of his huge body jolted his joints. It felt as if she knew who this monster was. It had some of the features of a teacher she knew. She did not know the monster, however. She had a feeling she knew who the monster was. She turned around and started running. You could hear the big stumps from the monster who is now chasing her. She knew these halls. She knew each left and right. However, this was not enough. The monster was huge and fast. It wasn't long till the monster was close enough behind her. The monster pulled her back by the ankle and everything went black. She felt nice and warm. She was back in her bed. It was just a dream, she thought. She got up and walked towards the door. She reached out for the doorknob, opened it, and the door disappeared. She was confused and looked around. She was back in the hallway. Huh? She steps back for a second, then starts walking forwards again, going to the left side this time at the end. The door was different. It was a normal looking door, except this door had bright red curtains. She opened the door and appeared in an unfamiliar place. What is this? Was she in a maze? She started hearing echoing footsteps, so she decided to jolt forwards. She had no idea where she was. Everywhere she looked, there was another corner, another hallway. She got a flash of a memory, as if she was here before, but she doesn't remember how or when. She got a flash of another memory of her pushing one of the bricks, so she decides to do it. She pushes the brick, which opens another hallway. She was stunned for a second, but the footsteps were getting louder, as if someone was getting closer. So she walked in. It was a very cold and empty hallway. She gets another memory flash. However, this time, there were a lot of people here and it was so lively. But not anymore. Everything was so great and lonely. The footsteps were back. She got frightened and started running forwards. She looked behind her shoulder and there were 2-headed monsters. With each step he took, a crusty dust fell off them. It was chasing her. She ended up running into a place where she was trapped. The monster was getting closer and closer. She was so scared she slid down the wall and screaming. She woke up in her bed again. This time she jolted up from her bed, sweating and breathing hard. This time she decided to stay in the bed for a while. She then decides to get up and walk around the room. She notices the window. It's strangely dark, too dark for it to be real. She got closer and a long black hand with pointy nails reached out and grabbed her wrist. She's back in the hallway. She looks scared and confused. She decides to sit down on the floor, looking straight forward. She takes in a deep breath and gets up and walks over the right-hand side last door. She looks down at the doorknob before opening it up. She closes her eyes, then opens them up. She's surrounded in a forest, all dark and cold. She looks around and everything looks the same. She hears crunches and ruffles coming towards her. She can't move. She's in a trance. The figure's getting closer and closer. He steps into the moonlight and she gets a good look at his face. The monster was on all fours. He had a skin, however, some parts of his skin, you could see his bones. His eyes were bright red and his horns were sharp. She turned around and starts running away. She starts screaming and running all over the place, trying to get away. She trips and hits her head on a tree. She holds her head and feels a warm liquid coming down her head. She starts seeing flashes, as if she was in the forest one second and then the other she wasn't. The monster was getting closer and closer, but with each step it took, there was a flash. 1 second it was a monster, the next second he was wearing all green. I started screaming and closing my eyes. I opened my eyes again. This time everything was blurry. I was surrounded by a bunch of people wearing green, holding me down. I blacked out again. I woke up, back in my room, except this time in reality.